right. I've been saying this for years, but it is now official with the revelation that Ramsay wants out. Not us, but Greer is doomed. This is the end. There is no future for the jackass Greer and his avant-garde, moronic, full retard designs. Guys, there should be a sense of relief and celebration because strange days are here. It has come to an inflection point that no one can deny, that Chris Grier has created an absolute disaster. He is Nero. It is burning the kingdom, the regime, and Ramsay set the final flame. And yes, this season is going to be a disaster, but that's good. Fans should finally feel that there is hope going forward. It doesn't mean it's certain, but people didn't understand why I called Chris Grier fan enemy number one in 2021. I got a lot of flack for a lot of things, but I stood pretty stern and unmovable to an extent. That Chris Grier was a disaster. His designs were a disaster. And while he is in this gap, unless utter destruction and failure kind of bloomed and blossomed, there was no way to get this dope out of here. But he is done. He is cooked. He was burnt and then thrown in the microwave and then burned even more and dumped in a volcano. This is the end. And so I don't know what the next phase of this thing's going to be, what the quality is going to be, but there's no way it could be this bad. And last night, first I want to give Reason. Does a great show. I've subscribed to him. I listen to him. Don't always agree with him. But I put high stock in the value of what he brings. And he said, and somebody told me that he put his credibility on the line that Ramsay wants a trade. And now it's here. And what does that say? That this whole thing has been a sham, an illusion, smoke and mirrors, and now it has gone up in smoke. But we've got to be happy. It's not going to be easy to trade Ramsay. You're probably not going to get a ton. But what you're going to get, long-term value from this, is huge. The removal of Chris Grier, who's been with us a very long time. I've done many podcasts on it. It's going to be a boon for us in many ways. There's still things that need to be underneath the underpinning of Grier's tenure that needs to be taken care of. We'll get into that another day. But Ramsay is clearly saying, I want out. Now, understand what this means. Ramsay, we extended his contract, put more money on him. He's 31 now. His talents are not what they used to be. And moving was going to be very difficult. But look at Chubb, all those picks, the failure there. Look at the investments we made, even with Ramsay. And understand that in 2022, we could have gone with Van Ginkel for $8 or $9 million. We could have gone with Hunt for about 16. We could have gone with Wilkins for about 22, 23. And if you really think about it, you could have had, for the same price and a third round pick, Hunt and Van Ginkel. And where would you be? But Chris Grier is terrible. And the cooking talk, and he's one of the best in the league. Guys there's people out there that believe that. Doesn't mean their information's worthless. It's not. There was a window, but it was so small. But this is no longer even a possibility to proclaim. And so, guys, we are entering a new phase. And there is a hope in that. It's going to take 2 years. My belief, I said in 22, the beginning of 22 in the offseason, 22 and 23 was our peak talent season, and we were going to implode after that. And we're there. 27 is our year to, if we do this draft right. Al from 3 yards per carry, others have talked about somebody else is going to be making his moves. I don't think Greer is going to be running this draft, especially after this. And when you tie it into Shore cutting the purse strings, they had to know this was coming. And so I heard Chris Sims. Some people don't like him because he what he said about Tua, whatever. You can't just, I get things wrong. Everybody gets things wrong. He can't just dismiss people, but he said this, and it was a great saying.
What? Why? You talk about doing dumb things as a football team. Don't say the thing you said during the break about what the Dolphins are. Well, yes, they like their stars, and their stars like to give it back to them, okay?
And so we believed, well, Chris Grier believed, contrary to the history of the game, that high point talent at skilled positions was going to drive you to success. There's others than just me. Dudley Durong's been talking about it for a year or two, maybe even more. I don't know everything. There's others out there. It is built on depth, physicality, the trenches, and maximizing your assets. It's not about dumping huge amount of assets into one guy, especially guys with injury issues or older.
Change your pass! Change your pass! Do it, Denise!
And so this was a failed process. We were told in 2019 that it was Gase and Tannenbaum. It wasn't his fault. Then we were told it was Flores' fault. We all know now, we should be clear, that Chris Grier is fin enemy number one, and he's out the door. And it looks like he's going to go out on the jackass with the dunce cap. And aside from maybe a handful of holdovers, everybody's going to look at this guy like, good riddance. This is great. Now, if you look at the numbers, Ramsay, it's going to be difficult. He's 31 years old, one of the highest paid cornerbacks. And if you trade him pre-June, it's -8 to your cap with 25 dead. Now, that sucks. And there's going to be a major impingement when you look at things on next season. But that's okay too. See, I was talking to the guys last night, and they're like, nobody wants to rebuild. Ross doesn't want to rebuild. And I said to them, it's not about what you want. Football, NFL especially, is not about image. It's not about what you want. It's not about hopium. It's about what really is there. It's a predatory sport of a bunch of alphas giving everything all day long, 24/7, to find victory. And you've got to be the best of the best, and then you need luck to get to the top. This whole framework is a disaster, but if we can have a good draft, and Ross isn't totally insane, let's somebody other than Chris Grier make these choices, and we see a philosophical shift. Different picks, different ways of doing business in this draft, and we see Greer moved out, we could be heading in the right direction. But there is no quick road to success in the NFL. But if you build it right and you keep at it, you can have legitimate success. And this is my hope. Ramsay, we're going to have to eat money. Fine. Eat money this year, eat money next year. You can get off to it if that's what you want in 27. And you'll have extra money. You might suck this season, get good picks back-to-back years. And then you'll have the talent pool, if we do the right things, to start the right build in 27. Chris Grier is a pencil pusher. He deals in finesse. It appears we got Champ Kelly and we've got Marvin Allen, who played ball. Marvin Allen played in the pros, Kelly in college. And I think they understand things. Certainly, I know they do, at a better level than Greer. What that level is, I don't know. But guys, this draft should get you excited. Ramsay wanting out is the clear. It's the 17th canary in a coal mine, but now it's undeniable. So if we can even get rid of Ramsay and get a 3rd round pick, and that's probably what I'm thinking, maybe a 4th with a conditional 3rd or 2nd if you get really lucky. Eat this money. Expect a lean year. But the problem is that we want success now. And the people in ownership, they want to give you the success now, but that doesn't mean long-term success. The success for the season that I talked about in the beginning of this offseason was trying to get coherent, build a proper framework for everyone involved. Whatever that quarterback is, whatever the roster is, start in the trenches, start being physical, start trading back to get extra assets, get more shots at players so you can find the right ones. And if it starts this year and it's a lean 25 and 26 and you're seeing, oh, whoa, we won that road game in bad weather because we're more physical, or we almost won that game, it was tight, we are more consistent, we're following the NFL cycles that I've talked about of pass balance, you shouldn't worry about the wins and losses. You should worry about building right. And when you build right, if you build it right, they will come. This is great news. Clearly, it is a sign that any hopium is extraordinarily like lotto level roll for the season. And in truth, you probably want a down year so you can get the assets to build this thing right going forward. Ramsay was a me guy. He was only had for a 3rd round pick. It was smart in that moment because you had a small window. But Greer extending these players was ludicrous, insanity. But ultimately, it was his undoing. He is done. Rome is burning. He's sitting there, playing with his poop. And this should be a good thing. Hopefully a new regime is set in place. We know that Ross likes to do his thing, but he's older. And if Marvin Allen and Sham Kelly and Brandon Shaw put together a very good draft, then maybe Ross won't interfere. Maybe he's a little too old to interfere. Maybe he's a little too tired to interfere. Maybe there's enough credibility for them to say, look, stay out. Now, that's a little bit of hope, but clearly the great news is Ramsay should be celebrated. He was a narcissist in a lot of ways, not as bad as Hill. But he is setting the final flame to this thing. So, guys, I would be very excited because there's no way that as much as Ross loves Greer, that this will continue. It's an utter disaster. And this is the final throes, the death knell of this regime. Whether McDaniel will be the guy going forward, I don't know. Whether Tua will be the guy going forward. But keep your eye on 27. But start watching with deep intent the moves we make philosophically, conceptually, to start building this thing again. If we start doing the things from the past, you should be pretty clear that it's a dead process. But if you start seeing the right build, I know it's going to suck to wait. But you waited all these years. And you all excited, many of you, going all in and saying, screw the future. And I said, guys, the future comes and sometimes you regret the past. The small moves, the simple moves, the right moves, the non-hitting of the media being, this is the greatest move of all time. Those are the better moves. So, guys, this is a great day for us. Greer is done. This foolishness for many, many years is done. Let's just hope we've got the right stuff. I know a lot of you will be dour on that possibility, but simply removing Greer is massive addition by subtraction with multiplication. So enjoy. This is good news. And let's get ready for this draft. Maybe that second round will have an offensive lineman. Maybe the trade back at 13 to find 3 very good guys in that up to the first 3 picks up to 98 might happen. With Greer, I doubt it. But there is hope now. Thank you, Ramsay, for being who you are. Thank you, Hill, for being who you are. Because you pulled the veil away from the Wizard of Oz, showing him to be a shrunken idiot who's not nearly as impressive as his appearance is made out to be. So, Curtis is very happy. You should be too. Because this is our opportunity. Let's hope we don't screw it up. So, Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Do you feel it? I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.